Good day. Yeah. Today too we are coming to look at another aspect of the trigonometry ratio. We are still on trigonometry ratio. We are coming to look at another aspect. Now, you did very well in the previous assignment. Yes, you did very well. Many people sent the question through WhatsApp. You did very well. Yes. Now, let's continue to build understanding. Yes, we are just moving slowly. Yes, and make sure you follow me closely to understand trigonometry ratio. If today is the first time you are coming, go and watch the previous video on trigonometry ratio. Then you come and follow us. Yes, go and watch, share, and then like the video. Share to as many friends you know. Yes. Now let's continue. Let's consider this particular question. Now, if theta is between 0 and 90, theta is greater than or equal to 0 and theta is less than or equal to 90. Yes. Now, this statement is very important. Very important. Yes, because we can consider an angle of a complete circle 360 degrees. We can consider a circle which is 360 degrees. Now, when you consider a circle like this, you can divide it into quadrants. Yes, where this one is our first quadrant, this is quadrant. This is our second quadrant. This is our third quadrant, and this is our fourth quadrant. So we start reading in the anti-clockwise direction. This is our 0 degrees. This is our 90 degrees. This is our 180 degrees, of which each quadrant is 90. When you divide a circle into 4, we're going to get quadrant. Yes. And each quadrant is 360 divided by 4, which is 90. Now here plus 90 will give us 270 degrees. And then here will be what? 360 degrees. Now, I will take time to explain this thing very well. But for now, I'm going to concentrate on the first quadrant. Yes, after I will solve similar question like this, then we will move into another quadrant, 90 and 180 degrees, angle between 180 degrees and 270 degrees, angle between 270 degrees and 360 degrees. Now, the only thing unique about this thing is that the basic trig ratio, that is the cosine, the sine, and the tangent, they behave differently in all the quadrants. Yes. But when we consider this first quadrant, that is from 0 to 90, just like this one, the cosine, the sine, and the tangent behave the same way. Yes. So for now, I'm going to consider the first quadrant. So in some question, they can say that the angle is in the first quadrant. Some question, they can say that the angle is acute. You know acute angle. Acute angle is an angle less than 90 degrees. Yes. So any angle less than 90 degrees between 0 and 90 is an acute angle. Yes. So in some question, they will say that where theta is an acute angle. Yes. And when the theta is an acute angle, we're still talking about the first quadrant. All the trig ratios behave the same way. How do they behave the same way? They are all positive. They are all positive. All the basic trig ratios are positive. Sine is positive. Tan is positive. Cosine is positive. And the same thing will affect its corresponding reciprocals. Yes. Now, so when we see a question like this, make sure you look at it very well. It's very important. Now, so let's move on. Now, we know this angle is in the first quadrant. And then we have tan theta is equals to 3 out of 4. We have tan theta, which is 3 out of 4. We are supposed to use tan theta to find sin theta, cos theta, and cos square theta. Now, this is another way of applying the SOH. We are still applying the SOH in a different way. Yes. So let's see how we use the SOH to solve the same question. Now the SOH is still SOH. Looking at this question, the only trig ratio that was given in the question is the tan. The tan is TOA. And what is TOA? TOA is tan of the angle is equal to opposite over what? Adjacent. So what comes into your mind? It means whenever we have tan equal to a particular ratio, opposite over adjacent, the numerator is always the opposite. So therefore, when I consider this one, the numerator we have here is 3. So this 3 is the opposite. Then the denominator becomes the adjacent. The denominator here becomes the adjacent. So it means the opposite is 3, the adjacent is what? Is 4. We have many ways we can solve this, but this one I'm using purely commat approach. Yes, purely commat approach. And everything that I'm doing here, you have to present the same way in examination, any external exams or internal exams. Yes. Now, so let's see. It means that our opposite is 3 and our adjacent is 4. Yes. We are supposed to use this one to find sine theta, cos theta, and then tan theta, using it to solve for other trig ratios. Yes. Now, how are you going to solve? Let's write, anytime they give a question, try to draw a rectangle triangle. Let's draw a rectangle triangle like this, right angle triangle like this. Now, the angle here, let me consider here to be my 90 degrees. It means this side will be my hypotenuse, right? Okay. Now, what is the angle theta? I want to consider this my angle as theta. It means this angle will be opposite to here, so this side will be opposite. Now, considering this one, the opposite is this side, it is 3. So this side is 3. And then the adjacent will be down here. This adjacent is 4. So here is 4. It means it left it one side that we are supposed to solve. And what is that side? The side is the hypotenuse. We have to solve for the hypotenuse. Now I'm going to use a letter M to represent the hypotenuse. Yes. We're going to use M to represent the hypotenuse. So from Pythagoras theorem, it says what? It says that anytime we have the hypotenuse square is equal to the opposite square plus what? The adjacent square. Now the hypotenuse is M. Try to solve for the remaining side. Yes, always when they give you this question, try to solve for the remaining side. Yes. Now, what is the hypotenuse? The hypotenuse is M, so M squared. Opposite is 3. So 3 squared. I told you that when we don't have an angle, you can use any part as your opposite and your adjacent. But when you have a particular angle here, where the angle faces, it becomes the opposite. Yes. Now, the adjacent is 4. So 4 squared. So this one gives us M squared is equals to 9 plus 16. M squared will give us what? 25. M will give us root of 25, which will give us 5 units. So this side is 5. We are not going to bring the plus or minus because this one is in the first quadrant. First quadrant, everything is positive. Yes. Yes. So follow me closely. Now, let me solve my sine theta. So this question is very simple. It comes in the WASI every year. Now, sine theta. What is sine theta? Sine theta is so. So is opposite over hypotenuse. What's the opposite? The opposite is 3 divided by hypotenuse is 5. We are done. This is just like that. Very simple. Yes. Now the second one is cos theta. Cos theta. What is cos theta? Cos theta is CAH. That is adjacent over hypotenuse. What's the adjacent? The adjacent is 4. The hypotenuse is what? Is 5. Is 5. So we are done. This is our cos theta. Now the next one is cos square theta. It means that we have to square the cos. The cos is 4 out of 5. The cos squared. The cos is 4 out of 5. So I'm going to write 4 out of 5 and it is squared, so I have to square this one. What is 4 squared? The square will affect the 4. 4 squared is 16. The square will affect the 5. 5 squared is 25. So this is the solution to this particular question. Yes. We are using the calculator to solve other expressions, solve other trigonometry ratios. Yes. This is just the beginning. Don't forget that after that I'll give you some questions to solve. Those that they solved the previous question, they did very well. And I want to see the first person that will solve this question and then send it to me. I will award the person. Yes. Now, let's take the second question. Let's take a second question. Second question. Now, question 2. If cos x is equal to 24 out of 25, where the angle x is between 0 and 90 degrees, so the angle S right now is between 0 and 90 degrees, which is an acute angle. Yes. Find the value. Find the value. So we can ask us to find a value of a particular expression. Yes. So we can find the value of tan x cot x all divided by cosec x. Don't think this question is difficult. This question is very simple. Yes. Now we have find the value of, we have the cos s to be 24 out of 25. The angle is an acute angle. As I explained earlier, when you have an angle between 0 and 90, it means all the basic trig ratios are all positive. The sine is positive, the cosine is positive, and the tangent is also positive. Yes. And we have to find the value of tan s. This is multiplication, so tan s cot s all divided by cosec x. Yes. So how are we going to use this one to solve this? Now, we have to form a rectangle triangle just like the first one. Then we solve for the remaining side of the rectangle triangle. Then after that, we solve for our tan s, we solve for our cot s. Then we solve for our cosec s, then we substitute into the equation and we are done. It's very simple. And make sure that you use a calculator to do some computations. Yes, so solution. So our first one, I have cos x is equal to 24 out of 25. Now the cos is CAH. And what is CAH? It means cos of any angle s is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Yes, it means that the top one here is adjacent and the down one is hypotenuse. It means the adjacent is 24 and the hypotenuse is 25. So let me consider my right angle triangle like this. Rectangle triangle, you can draw it anyhow. Now what is the hypotenuse? The hypotenuse is 25. This is my hypotenuse 25. Let me consider angle x. The angle can be changed anyhow. This is the angle s. Let me say the angle here is x. So this side will be opposite. Opposite. Here will be opposite. But the adjacent was given to be 24. So here will be the adjacent. Adjacent 4. Now I'm going to use a letter to represent the opposite. Then we solve for the opposite. How are you going to solve the opposite? From the Pythagoras theorem, the hypotenuse squared is equal to opposite square plus adjacent squared. The hypotenuse is 25. So we have 25 squared. What is the opposite? The opposite is m. We have m squared. And then we have plus the adjacent squared, which is 24 squared. Now at this particular point, you can use calculator to point 25 squared, which will give you 625. Yes, it will give you 625. We have 25 squared, which will give you 625. 625 m squared. Now what is 24 squared? 24 squared will give you 576. You group items, you are looking for the m. You have 625 minus 576, which is equal to m squared. So let's subtract. Let's subtract 625, which will give you 49. So we have 49 is equal to m squared. 49 is equal to m squared. We square root both sides. Root 49 is equal to m squared. So we have 9. So we have m is equal to what? 7. 7 over first quadrant. We are not including plus or minus because it is in the first quadrant, and the first quadrant it is positive. Yes. But don't even think about this one. You're talking about length. We don't have negative length. All the lengths are positive. Now we are supposed to solve for tan x. So let me solve for tan x. So we look at this expression given. We have tan x. So let me find tan x here. What is tan? Tan is TOA, opposite over adjacent. What is opposite? The opposite is 7. Yes, is 7 over adjacent. Adjacent is 24. Yes. Now, what is our chord? Our chord x, you know the chord is 1 over tan, right? 1 over tan, so 1 over tan x. The chord is 1 over tan. So we have our 1 over tan x. So what do we do? It's the same as 1 divided by tan s is 7 out of 24. And then 7 out of 24, so we're going to get what? 24 over 7. Yes. So we are getting this one to be 24 over 7. Now it left with the cosec s. You know, cosec is the same as 1 over sine. So I have to look for the sine. What is sine? Sine of the angle s. The sine is, so it is opposite over hypotenuse. What's the opposite? The opposite is 7. Opposite is 7. And then what is the hypotenuse? And then the hypotenuse is 25. Is 25. So this is what we need from the question. We need the tan s. Tan s is 7 out of 24. We need cot s, which is 24 out of 7. We need cosec. Cosec, we have to get a sine before. The sine is 7 out of 25. So let's solve our cosec. Cosec, now let me continue from here. Our cosec of the angle x, our cosec is 1 over sine x. The sine is 7 out of 25. So which means 1 divided by 7 out of 25, which will give us 25 out of 7. Now the question says we should look for tan x. The question says we look for tan s cos x, cot x, divided by cosec x. So let's see. Let's substitute. What is tan s? Tan s, we had 7 out of 24. So I have 7 out of 24. It is multiplying cot x. And what is cot s? Cot s is 24 out of 7. So we have 24 out of 7. Now all divided by the cosec x. The cosec x, this one is cosec. The cosec s, we had 25 out of 7. So we have 25 out of 7. Now looking at the top one, it will give us 1 because 7 will cancel 7, 24 will cancel 24. So we're going to get 1 divided by 25 out of 7. Now you see, 1 divided by 24 out of 7 can also be written as. So let me continue from here. It's the same as 1 divided by 25 out of 7, which is the same as 1 times 7 out of 25. 7 out of 25. This is the answer we are looking for. This is the answer we are looking for. It is very simple as ABC. Very, very simple. Very, very. Make sure you like the video, then you share the video to friends in other schools. Those in the northern region, upper region, my Bocho students, make sure you share it. You share. Yes. Now, let's look at the last question under this. Then you solve my assignments, you send it to me on WhatsApp. Yes. So let's look at the last question under this. Now, the last question, if sine B, so question 3, if sine B, the angle is B, is equal to 1 over Q. Find tan S, tan B, find tan B, and cos B. Solution. Okay, let me define the angle. Let me define the angle where B is between 0 and then B is between 0 and 90 degrees. It means B is an acute angle. It is in the first quadrant. Yes. B is an acute angle in the first quadrant. B is an acute angle in the first quadrant. Now let's move on. Solution. So as we said, we have sine B is equals to 1 out of Q. What is sine? Sine is so is opposite over what? Hypotenuse. So it means that we have the opposite to be O, the 1, and then the hypotenuse to be what? The Q. Yes. Then, as usual, we draw a right angle triangle for anytime they give you a question like this, try to draw a right angle triangle to solve. Yes. We are using Commons approach. Now, so we have a right angle triangle like this. Now, this is my angle B, 90 degrees. Here will be my hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is H. Hypotenuse is Q. Yes. This is the hypotenuse is Q. So this is Q. This one is Q. The top one is the opposite. The opposite is 1. This angle is opposite here, so here is 1. Then here we don't know. This side we don't know. We have to solve for the adjacent. Let me use M to represent the adjacent. Now let's solve for the adjacent. So from the Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square is equals to opposite square plus adjacent square. Hypotenuse square is equals to opposite square plus adjacent square. Now, what's the hypotenuse? The hypotenuse is Q. So we have Q and it is squared. What's the opposite? The opposite is 1. So we have 1 squared. Adjacent is what we are looking for. It is M squared. Now, so we have Q squared. Now, 1 squared is the same as 1. So I can group items. So minus 1 is equals to M squared. So what do? We square root both sides. Q squared minus 1 will give us M. So we square root both sides. Q squared minus 1 gives us M. So it means that our M here is the same as root of Q squared minus 1. Yes, because we don't know Q. Q is an alphabet. Yes, so this one is root of Q squared minus 1. Now let's solve for our tan X. Tan B. Okay, tan B. As usual, tan is opposite over adjacent. What is the opposite? The opposite is 1. So we have 1 over adjacent. What is the adjacent? The adjacent is the m. What is m? M is root q square minus 1. Now that's the answer. If you want to rationalize, you can rationalize, yes. But I will not rationalize. I want to leave the answer here. I want to leave the answer here. But if you want to rationalize, you're going to get what? Root of what? Q square minus 1 divided by Q minus 1. Those that want to rationalize, you multiply the numerator and the denominator by the denominator, and you are going to get something like this. Now, cos B. What is cos? Cos is CAH. CAH is adjacent over hypotenuse. So what is the adjacent? Adjacent is the m. M is root of q square minus 1 divided by the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the q. This is the hypotenuse q. We are done. Yes. So this is as simple as ABC. We apply our Secant. That is how we apply the Secant. It's very simple as ABC. Now take this question and then go and solve. Send me the answers on WhatsApp. Take this question. Now, question 1. If cos A is equal to 3 out of 5, where the angle A is between 0 and 90, evaluate tan A divided by sec A. So this question is very simple. Now question 2. If sine x is equal to 12 over 13, where the angle theta is between, the angle S is between 0 and 90 degrees, find the value of 1 minus cos square theta, cos square x. So this is very, very simple. So with this one, you draw a rectangle triangle, you find the tan A, then you look for your sec A, you come and substitute, then you simplify. Now the same applies to this one. You draw a rectangle triangle, you find the other side. After solving for the other side, you solve for your cos x, you come and substitute. It is 1 minus cos s, then you solve the answer. Send me the solutions on WhatsApp. See you another time. I'm trying to build your understanding step by step. You are still applying the Secant. See you another time for the solution. Bye bye.